Well, I'm starting a new project in the shop today. And I'm glad you could join me here. Now, what I'm going to be doing today is making a couple of small open segment bowls, but they're going to be different in the fact that I'm going to be using two sizes of segments on them. Now, let's see if I can explain that. I'm going to use a 24 segment index, and half the segments will be regular 24 open segment size, but the other half, what I'm going to do, I'll use this as an example. This ain't 24 segments, but I'll use this as an example. One will be regular segment size. The other segment will cover what two open segments normally would, which is going to be, of course, equal to the size of one closed segment and one open segment. It'll be that big. So I'm going to have one small, one big, one small, one big. So even though there's 24 segment index, I'll actually only have 16 segments. Now between those, I'm going to have a thin layer, and it's all going to be 24 segments, which will work out right. And what I'm going to do, between the layers, the thin strips, I'm going to use 3 strips, 2 different colors. On one bowl I have Peruvian walnut and holly. I had some leftover holly, thin strips, from my last project, so I'm going to go ahead and use them. And in the other bowl, I'm going to use purple heart and yellow heart on it. And then the bowls, like I said, are going to be small. This is a half drawing again. And they're only going to be 4.5 inches across, and they're only going to be 2 segments high, of course, the top and the bottom. So that's how it's going to look, just a slight curve in them. And I have here prepared 2 bottoms. Now one of them I'm going to use this black limba for a bottom and a top, namely because I have it. And then the other one I'm going to use yellow heart for the bottom and the top. And I have got some woods prepared. I've got yellow heart, and I've got some, I'm going to use some of my tamarind. I know it's expensive, and I'm going to use it anyway. I've got it. I might as well use it. I think I might get some more. And then I'm going to use red heart and maple. I think I'm going to put the tamarind with the maple and the red heart with the yellow heart. I'm not sure. I might put the tamarind with the yellow heart, put the red heart with the maple. I think that might be better because of the fact that I'm going to use the purple heart and the yellow heart as the spacers on this one. Yeah, I think I'll go like that with tamarind and yellow heart on this one. So, like I said, I've got the base is prepared like I normally prepare a base. Put a mortise in the bottom. Start dishing it out in the bottom. I got a flat area. It's already been flattened and sanded. So if you don't know how I do these bases, I've done it in quite a few other videos, you can see. And the small segments, of course, will be cut normal 24 open segment size and angle, but the larger ones are going to be cut to the size of an open segment plus the size of a closed segment, and the angle is going to have to be the angle of an open segment plus the angle of a closed segment. So I'm going to have to work those out as I go. So first thing I'm going to do to get started is glue up these strips. I'm going to go ahead and do that, just get them all glued up. I got the sandwiches made now for the first row of segments. Purple heart and yellow heart, and Peruvian walnut and holly. I'm going to go ahead and cut the first row of open segments. I'm going to use 24. Actually, I could get by with 16, but I'm going to use 24. I'm going to cut them at 4.75 inch diameter. So the cut length will be 0.4377. So I got this set up to 0.4377. And being as how I'm making both bowls exactly the same size, just different materials, I'll go ahead and cut both at one time for the first row. So I'm going to cut 24 open segments of each material. And I'm going to start with the bowl that's yellow heart bottom, and using the yellow heart and purple heart as first row on that. I've got 24 of these segments cut. They're awful small, awfully small. Fact is, I had to cut 4 test pieces before I got them exactly the right size. They're sandwich pieces. Got the index set on a red index, just any red index. I've got my stop block set for 2 3/8 from the center for a 4 3/4 inch circle. And I'm ready to start gluing them on. Like I said, these are awfully small. Don't take much glue at all on these, I guarantee you. Gonna be hard spreading glue on them. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of them all glued on just like that. I've got the first thin ring on. Now the next ring is going to be one of the rings with the 2 sized segments. Now the first size segment will be normal 24 open segment size. That ring's going to be the same diameter as the first. So I'm going to cut for this one 8 segments of yellow heart, the same size as the first ring. But now the large rings are going to be the size of a closed segment ring plus the size of an open segment ring. So for this diameter, the size for the open segment's 4.377, and for the closed it's 0.6253. So I'm going to cut a segment 1.063. The angle for the open's 5.25, and the angle for the closed is 7.5. So I'm going to cut it at an angle of 12.75. I'm going to cut 8 of those, and I'm going to cut 8 of the regular size. I've got 8 yellow heart segments cut. It's a normal size. This ring will be the same diameter as a thin ring, so they're the same size as those. Then I've got 8 tamarind cut of the larger size. So let's go ahead and get those glued on. Okay, I've already sanded the small segments. I've got the index wheel set on one of the blue indexes. The first thing I'm going to do is glue on one of the yellow heart segments. Again, a thin layer of glue. Too much squeeze out and you have to clean it up. put this one on, instead of going to the next blue index, I skip one blue index and go to the second blue index. And this should fit in there just right. How about that? Looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and glue this one on. Get it in there, okay. Now, we go to the next index and put in another yellow heart. And I'll keep doing this all the way around. I've got all the rest of the segments cut now. So I'm going to, first of all, glue on the next thin layer, these sandwich pieces. Same way I did the first layer. I'm going to start turning the inside, and I'm going to go ahead and put the layer of the big pieces, then the last layer of the thin pieces, and then I'll be ready to make the solid ring for the top. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue on the segments, start turning the inside, glue the rest of the segments on. I've got the second row of thin ones put on. Then I started turning the inside. The thin ones will support the big ones, keep them from cracking and breaking when I turn the inside. I can actually turn the thin ones if I want. I didn't turn them too much. Now I'm going to go ahead and put on the next row of big ones. Then I'll put on the last row of thin ones, and we'll make a closed ring for the top. I've got all the open segments on it now. Got the inside turned right up to here. Sanded and finished in the bottom. I got the top closed segment ring ready to go. Now if you don't know how to make a closed segment ring, I have a video on just making closed segment rings 3 different ways. So I'm getting ready to put this on now. Normally I would put a light layer of glue on each segment, but this has got so many segments so close together, I'm just going to put a very light layer of glue on this ring and bring it up. Make sure the joints on this ring fall right in the middle of a segment. And then I'll bring it up with the tail stuck and clamp it on. A light layer of glue on there. Very light layer. Put it in tailstock. Bring it up. Now line the joints on that up over a segment. Clamp her down. Now I'll just leave her for 15 minutes or more, and I'll go ahead and turn that. Actually, that ring's too thick. I think I'm going to either part it in half or just cut it down till it's a lot thinner. I made this top ring with material I had on hand, and it's way thicker than what I want. So I went ahead, turned the end, sanded it smooth, get a good glue edge. Now I'm just going to part it off. Keep a piece, probably never use it, but I got it anyway. So that's what I'm going to do, is part it off, thin it down, then I'll finish turning the inside, I'll turn the outside, put some shellac on it. I've got it turned, sandy, and put some shellac on it. Now I'm going to tape off the edge. I'm going to reverse it on the cold jaws, take this chuck off, reverse it on the cold jaws, bring the tailstock up and turn the back, sand it, put a little finish on it, and I'll be done. So I'm going to, like I said, tape it, put it on the cold jaws. I put it on the coal jaws and brought the tailstock up like I do in all my videos. Turned the bottom, sanded, put shellac on it. All I have to do now is sign it. And there it is. It's kind of ugly, too tall I think. When I make the next one, I might just make it that tall right there. I don't know, I'm looking at it. But the whole purpose of this is to show that you don't have to always use the same size segments. There's a lot of different things you can do. For instance, I could have left out these segments underneath this piece right here. I could have left these out entirely all the way around. But, like I said, a little imagination, and there's all kinds of things you can do with open segments. So, I hope you got something out of the video. I hope you appreciate it. And I hope you come back to see my next one. Oh, that reminds me, the next one. I've got another bow to do like this. I got the pieces cut, but I'm not going to do it in this video. The reason being, I got a box in the mail from Chief Wear Kits. So the next video I'm going to be doing is opening the box, checking out the parts, assembling it, mounting it, mount an index wheel. Actually, I've got 2 index wheels in this one. And then the video after that, I'll be using it to build the other turning similar to this one with different woods. So that's what I'm going to do. And I hope you come back and watch my videos. And I appreciate the people watching. And I really appreciate those that subscribe. Thank you.